Last time, we sped through the opening school scene and defeated the Titan Pokemon Cloth. So we're picking up from there. We start things off with the first gym challenge. Some of the gym challenges are tedious and boring, but I think comparatively this one's okay. It's simple. Get the oversized ball into the basket. Easy. Boom, bang, done. Do a little dance to celebrate, and be on your way. Oh wow. I don't suppose you see that every day. Nice. Making my way to the gym, going fast, riding on this thing's back. Making my way to the gym, yeah. Which leads to the first gym battle with Katie, the bug-type gym leader. And it was around this time that I began to wonder what to expect from these battles, and how much of a challenge it would provide. And without any disappointment, she opens with the Hariyama, everyone's favorite bug-type Pokemon. And in no time, it proceeds to sweep half of my team, even getting the lucky turn 1 paralyze. Wow. So, I send in multiple bad type matchups, until I can chip away at this thing's health enough to just KO it. And with Thwacky leading the charge, I do just that. That was a strong first Pokemon for Katie to have. After losing a couple of Pokemon to Hariyama, I was beginning to worry about what else could be left on Katie's team. Turns out, it was just a Fletchinder, so we took care of that pretty easily. Which only left her ace Pokemon, who is randomized to be a Varoom. And alleviating all doubt, this Pokemon was quite easily taken care of in this situation. And with that, Katie, the bug-type gym leader, was conquered. While Hariyama was a pain to defeat, the others were much easier. So I set my sights on the next Titan Pokemon, Bombirdier. Not before tripping over these extremely hard to see Tynamo, that just so happened to be in the way. I decided I need to take on more battles in case I find myself in another Hariyama situation. So I take on this kid with the 5 o'clock shadow. Maybe they should check the school's water supply for growth hormones. I don't know, just saying. Along the way, I find a few Pokemon I think can make great additions to the team. One of them being the Paradox Pokemon Slitherwing, and the other one being an Alolan Grimer, which I've never used before. I come across a couple more trainers who are quite easily defeated. The first one only having a Shuppet that I one-shot, and the second trainer only having a Sprigatito. Both are very easy W's. Stopping to admire the scenery and take it all in, I come across what seems to be a Pokemon in distress? Maybe? Yeah, quick, call the fire department. There's an Avalugg up there. We need to get it down. Did you know you can actually climb to the top of one of these windmills? I think it's something that I missed the first time I played the game. And for climbing up here, what do you think you get? A rare candy. That's a pretty good reward if I do say so. Getting closer to the Titan Pokemon, I begin to see the rocks that it's throwing everywhere. And of course, I bonk into them. Yep, not just once, but nope, twice. Wonderful. Shaking off the rock debris, we find the culprit behind the rocks. And it turns out to be Bombirdier, the next Titan Pokemon, who also proceeds to sweep a good majority of my team. Even with all those extra trainer battles under my belt, it just wasn't cutting it. So I do what I did against the Hariyama, and I slowly chip away at its health until I can finally defeat it. Bombirdier proceeds to bust a hole in the side of the mountain, only by casually flying up to it. And that's when our main man Arvin shows up for some support. With majority of my team wiped out from the battle I just had against it, I'm not really much help here. Arvin terrestrializes a knackle that doesn't have a hat, but I believe this is a side effect of his team being randomized, as well as the game saying it's a pawnyard. And of course, in no time, Oshawott proceeds to go down. But in this situation, Arvin comes in pretty clutch and takes Bombirder down just as I faint. Yeah, and somehow Oshawott is back, alive and well. Cool. Around this time, we experience what I think is one of the stronger storylines of the game. And yes, that is in fact not drugs. Turns out, Arvin's love for sandwich making isn't because he wants to open a deli. Although I won't blame you if that was your initial thought. It's a good one. I mean, they would sell pretty good. Look, it gives our dog superpowers. But no, it's around this time we find out he's not just a weird, angry guy. He's a guy who really loves his puppers. And he just wants to make them better when no other treatment he's had has helped. So that pretty easily cements his story as priority one. Not just to help out his weird crippled dog, but to make ours stronger too. Afterwards, Oshawott decides to evolve, and I bump into an Ursaluna and was considering adding it to the team. However, as you see, it is a level 30 and could easily sweep me at this point. It's not only that, but even if I do catch it, it's not gonna listen until I at least get one more badge. So after it breaks out of the ball a few times, I make a mental note of where it is, in case I want to come back later and get it. But for now, I'm just gonna move on. I decided to take on a few more Pokemon trainers, especially after struggling through my last Titan battle. I figured all of my Pokemon could really use the experience. This kid leads with the shelter, which is very easily taken care of, especially with Thwacky. But, to my surprise, this kid is packing, and throws out a Heatran? Like, what? Where did you even get that? Nice. With a name like Heatran, you wouldn't expect it to terrestrialize into a Steel-type Pokemon, but of course that's what happens. Even with that being the case, Duwat still takes it down pretty easily. However, I am still pretty surprised that this kid isn't more of a legend at the school. Like, they have a Heatran. Come on. Next, I set my goal towards the Dark-type Team Star base. After a little bit of exploring and just seeing what's out here, we have Gibble, Love Disc out of water, Sandile just hanging out. All kinds of fun Pokemon. Cassiopeia decides to let us know that we need to go check out what kind of party these guys are having. Don't want to miss out. And not only that, we meet another student with some suspicious facial hair. That's exactly the kind of getup I'd go for if I was trying to blend in. I mean, obviously. I aggressively mash A to get through the bouncers of this party, but it doesn't seem like they're wanting to let me in without a nice little Pokemon battle. I know the grunts usually have Pokemon that reflects what's inside the Team Star base, and it's at this point that I start to wonder if the randomizer will switch to Pokemon that will be auto battle. Or, well, at least that is when this bouncer decides to get out of the way and finally let us in. We gotta get in there and see what's going on with this party. It's gotta be pretty nice. I mean, Cassiopeia was like, get in there, go, you got this. All in all, this turns out to be a fairly easy battle. Fletcher went down with little to no problem at all. So, it's around this time that the bouncer decides to let everybody know that we're coming, followed by a weird kid with more facial hair. Turns out, the Team Star Raid auto battle gimmick was left untouched. I suspect it's a scripted event, kind of like how receiving a starter was at the beginning of the game. Not really much to do there. But on to the main show. And wow, that's a pretty sweet ride. They've even got little mini disco balls mounted to the top of the car. That's pretty neat. The Team Star Boss decides to lead the battle with a Galarian Slowpoke. It's nice to see that that's programmed into the game. I wonder what other Pokemon from the Sword and Shield DLC are here. But he terrestrializes into a Psychic type. Nice. And in almost no time, Thwackey has him taken care of. He wasn't much of a challenge, turns out. Only leaving his Starmobile. That is an interesting Pokemon. Now, that would be really cool to come across in the randomizer, to just see a bunch of these cars just in an open field or in the ocean. I really hope that that's a thing, but I kinda doubt it, since it seems like those battles only take place in the Team Star raids. And around this time, they treat us to another backstory. But I don't feel like this one is as good as the one about the dog and the boy and all that fun stuff. Penny shows up to give us some TMs and tell us how we did such a wonderful job. And look at that, that's a pretty neat book bag. And it's around this time that I call it for episode 2. This randomizer keeps me looking forward to every little area I explore. So please, leave a comment and let me know how you think I did. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Have a good one!